Hello everyone, Eileen here. I have another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial for you today, and I'm featuring the beautiful Woodland Sprite fairy on a gel press background. This is the card that I'd like to share with you, so let me show you how. I have the Bob Along gel press from Lavinia Stamps, and I've placed it on a non-porous background, so I've got it on my glass mat, and a few bits of copy paper, Lavinia Stamps brayer, and I love how this brayer roller spins. It's one of the best that I have. And Memento Pistachio ink. I'm using this for the background because I want a very pale colour. So inking up the brayer, not all of it, just half of it, and then onto the gel press, like so. Surplus comes off onto the copy paper. That should do it. Then moving on to Archival Inks, Cornflower Blue and Orange Blossom, and I'm using the Archival Inks to stamp onto the gel press, using this beautiful maple leaf from Lavinia Stamps. Now I'm using Archival Inks because they are permanent, as you know, they're permanent inks, and but they're dye-based. They're not pigment inks, they're dye-based inks, so they shouldn't mark your gel press, coupled with the fact that you can see through them. One of the main reasons why I love Archival Inks is their transparent feature. It's a property that I really go for because it gives me layers upon layer in my work, which is why I use distress inks a lot as opposed to oxides. Oxides blend beautifully, but distress inks, because of their transparent feature, along with my archivals as well, give me layers, and that's usually what I'm looking for. So starting off with Cornflower Blue. Now they are dye-based, but they are not water-based, so they don't react with water, Archival Inks, which is why when they're dry, you can use them to watercolour with. So I'm just going to pop this down here, like so. And again, inking up. So yeah, they don't react with water, so as do distress inks. And again. So I put 3 on there, so I think I'll do another one coming down from the top. So I'm stamping up now. I stamped up on the left hand side. Because I'm taking a print, the images are going to be flipped, they're going to be reversed. So this side is my, at the moment, right hand side, and that will be over on the left when I've taken the print. So I'm needing to bear that in mind for the design of my card, to get the balance right for the design. And I think I'll place that one down there. Now I'm moving on to the Archival Orange, and I want to make sure my stamp is fairly clean. That would make a nice background, wouldn't it? I might keep this piece of copy paper, cut it up. That would make a lovely background. Oh yeah. Let's do some more of that. Right, so I'm going to now pop on the orange. It's a wetter ink pad, this. So you'll see the image and it will be clearer. 2 there. And then don't want to overdo this background because it's going to have a stencil on it as well. I'll put one there, and I think one more in orange on the other side, like so. I think that should do. Now, depending on how heavily you press that stamp into the gel press, and I am careful because I don't want the lines of the acrylic block to come out, but you can get sort of a ghostly look with your images, and that's what I'm hoping that I'm going to get, as well as the more solid image. So cardstock is Lavinia Stamps cream cardstock, and I have cut it down. It's not quite the same size as my gel press. 18 centimetres in length by 8.5 centimetres in width. So it's not quite as tall as the gel press. Down. Oh, it's crooked. Not to worry. I can sort that. That wasn't very well done, Eileen. No. Oh, but that's okay. I've got a little bit of a white space here, but I'm going to edge it anyway. But that doesn't look too bad. So I'm liking the pattern on that. So I put the gel press out of the way in a safe place. And I'm going to keep that piece of copy paper because I just love that pattern there. I wonder if I've got any more left on here. Oh yeah, look. Yeah, that's nice. Just gives me the ghostly image of the rest of the leaves. I'm going to use that. So you can stay. Next, I want to fill in some of the space with a stencil. And I'm using the Flourish stencil. As you can see, it's in a bit of a state because it's well loved. I use this all the time on the gel press as well as in this way, which is straight onto the cardstock. And then I have a blue ink on this brush, but I just want to see how much I've got. Let me see this properly. Let me move that down a little. Just want to see how much I've got. Don't want it too overpowering. And I just want to make sure that it is Warm Breeze that I'm using, which is a softer tone than Twilight, which I'm going to use later. Right, this is Warm Breeze. And I'm just going to flick through very lightly, loose wrist, so I'm not too heavy-handed. Yes, that's good. Now I'm going to add more ink. I'm just going to do this side so it actually covers that bit I've missed on the gel press. And I still will edge it, so that hasn't gone yet, but it will do. That's quite good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's my stencil. Now moving on to Twilight and my Misty for the main image, which is the beautiful Woodland Sprite. Pop those down there. She is gorgeous. So she's round about there, that will do. Like so. Maybe up a little. Right. Placed her in place. Placed her in place. You know what I mean. And now inking up. I love this Twilight. It's a beautiful blue. And it gives me the drama without using black all the time. Okay, let's see how that goes. Got some surplus ink there. Get rid of that. Sorry about the reflection of the lamp, if that's what you're getting. So popping her down and then gently but firmly pressing down. And there she is, she's gorgeous. Clean the stamp off later. She's not maybe as opaque as I would like. So you can either get the Twilight and a paintbrush and just put the paintbrush in the ink and then paint the body in. But I could have stamped her twice. But I knew that I could use my polychromos and fill in any areas that needed a bit of help. So it should be fine now. That's it. So there she is there. Now the other thing that I was going to do as well is to highlight the fairy in Archival Ink Rose Madder and using a Lavinia Stamps Moon. Pop it on. And another Lavinia Stamps stencil brush. Just putting it on in layers, the colour. Take your time. Just build up the colour. Not very wet, the pad, so that's handy. And there she is. Now, because I've introduced the pink at the top of the card, I want to balance that out by adding some more of the pink at the bottom. And the way that I'm going to do that is with the maple leaf. I'm going to ink up and stamp directly now onto the bottom, just the once there. Like so, brings in a bit of extra colour, and then, and again, just on this side bit here, and then lastly, I'm just going to balance it out by bringing a couple of leaves down from the top in the pink again, like so. That's it, that'll do fine. That's good. Next I need to add a few embellishments. So I have some gold sparkle pen, a quickie glue pen, excuse me, and some crystal glitter. So starting with the gold, no, I'll start with the glue first. And so that will give it time to dry. So just outlining the sun or the moon. Around her. Like so. And then tipping the glitter over. This is Glamour Dust. I've had this for donkey's years. I'm not going to brush that off until it's dried a bit, but I can put the bulk of the glitter back into my pot. I'm getting it everywhere. What's new there then? Nothing. And then using a soft brush, just take the residue off. So she's got a nice glittery outline. And put that back into the pot. So that's the glitter done. And now I'm adding some gold sparkle to these leaves. Not all of them, just choose any one that you want to, not being too careful. I'm just putting the veins of the maple leaf in. And if you make a mistake, this gold pen is brilliant because you can move it about and it just coats the image with a bit of gold shimmer. It's very forgiving, this ink. So I'm not doing them all, just a few. Just enough to highlight and to make them pop. The larger ones especially, I'll do all the veins in those. And then a few of them as well, I'm going to just draw around the whole leaf. And that will bring it to the front more. Again, not being too careful. I'm just doing a squiggly line around it, to be honest. It's more of an impression than an accurate drawing of it. Loose, that is the word. It's loose. And if you make a mistake, just use your finger and rub it out. It is so forgiving. Hope that I'm still in shot with this. Yeah, good. I get paranoid that I'll go out of shot, finish the video, and then have to do it all again because I didn't take enough care. All right. Let's do this one at the top. I don't think you're picking up how lovely this looks, this gold on these leaves. But it does make a bit of a difference. Now I've got to finally add the words with VersaFine Claire, I'm going to add the words "with love" from the Heartfelt Verses set. Here it is. But before I do that, this is just a little, this area here looks a bit, it needs a bit more help, I think, with the stencil. I'm going to put the stencil back on because it's a bit gappy. I'm going to go for the lighter blue. Don't want it to be too dark. Looks a bit gappy. That's better. Yes, and here. And a bit here. So that was easy done, wasn't it? Yeah, that's good. Filled it in. Right. So with love, the darker blue, which is the Twilight. It's a lovely stamp, but it's you need to be very gentle with it. Doesn't like if you push and you're too heavy-handed with it. So getting it straight and then down, press lightly and up, gently. That's good. I've got to ground my stem of the bluebell, so I'm using very lightly this blue to match, and then a bit of pink as well. A bit behind it too. And then finally, I'm just adding a little bit of white as well, white pen. It just breaks up the harshness of the line that you're putting in, so that it is actually got somewhere that it's supposed to be coming from, and it's sort of springing from one of the leaves. Back to one of the blue brushes and Twilight again, so I need my dark one, which is this one. And then I'm going to edge the card, but be careful. This is where I could really wreck it, you know. So everything is dry-ish. Just going round. Don't want to be too heavy-handed. There's a lot of ink already on this brush, so I need to be careful. There we go. So there we have it here. We have the one that I've just showed you, one I did earlier on. And all I did here was to cut a card blank, and I think it's about 1 centimetre deep all the way round. So I just cut it from some white cardstock, and it's 10-fold, as you can see. So this was 8.5 by 18. I think this has got to be another centimetre deep all the way round as well. And then I just placed that in the top to give me the completed card. I'll let you sort out your card blank. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. I really did. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me as often as you are. Thank you so much for the lovely, kind words and messages that you leave me and comments on all the social media platforms that I'm on. And believe me, I'm everywhere like a rash. So thank you very much indeed. And I'll catch you again very soon. Take care now. Bye for now.